As Rob Gronkowski looks forward to being reunited with Tom Brady in Tampa, well, the tight end opened up about what it was like playing under Bill Belichick. He said that in New England, it wasn't the easiest place to play, but it, quote, gets you right. So, Shannon, what does this tell you?
Tell me what I've known. All it did was confirm what I've known to be true for the longest time. And now, Skip, you know this, Skip. I don't know if you get... I know you don't read your comments, but Skip, I used to get in my comments, and when I say something about the Patriots, how do you know? You're such a loser. You're not in the locker room, yada, yada, yada. Skip, now that Tom Brady's gone and Gronk and players have been talking, I can't find one person that's a New England fan jump on in my comments and say, I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. Clearly, I knew what the hell I was talking about. Skip Bayless, let me tell you what he's talking about. Yes, it's tough for me. And you know this, Skip. My first head coach was Dan Reeves. Dan Reeves is as old school as you can get because he played for Tom Landry. He coached under Tom Landry. So all he knew was how to thud it up. We had pads on every day, and we had on shells, which was shorts and shoulder pads on Friday. That's what he knew. 2.5, 3 hour practices. But, and I felt, Skip, getting through that for my first 3 years, anybody else that came after that was going to be a breeze. He's saying it's not easy. Coach Belichick, you might be playing in Miami. It might be 14 degrees outside in New England. Guess where you're going, Skip? You're going outside in the cold because Coach Belichick says this is a mental thing. But, Coach, it's not going to snow in Miami. Well, it might. So he said it's not easy. And he keeps you, it's a grind every single day. Check your ego. It's a grind. It's yada, it's this, and there's not a whole lot of fun going on. And he says, but it gets you ready. It gets you ready to the tune Gronk won 3 Super Bowls. Tom Brady won 6. So it definitely gets you ready, Skip. But it's not an easy place to play. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, Skip, that's kind of what Coach Belichick wants. He doesn't want it to be easy. He wants you to focus football, and whatever else you got going on. But when you come through these doors, it's all about football. And anything less than that is going to get you up out of here. So I'm sure Brady and Gronk, they're going to love Tampa. Skip, they might not get the results you want, but at this juncture in your life, Skip, it's kind of like you and I. At some point in time, we got to let our hair down and have a cheat meal every once in a while. We can't eat the exact same thing every day for 30, even though I have the same breakfast. I still eat egg whites and oatmeal, 27 years and counting, Skip. But I can be 28 years and counting. But, Skip, you want to change it up, and it's like, nah, I done got too old now. I can't be hearing all this, yeah, Coach, we know. So that's what he said. It's not an easy place to play, Skip, but you cannot argue with the results. And Coach Belichick is a results-based guy.
Okay, before I launch on this topic, I have to set one thing straight to protect my reputation from the last topic we were doing because I got cut off at the break. And I cannot let you get away with this. Yes, I'm a big John Wick fan, but more of the first John Wick over the second or the third.
Okay.
I have long been, way before you, a huge James Bond fan. And you can ask my wife, Ernestine. Last weekend, I watched in order Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Goldfinger. And just trust me, I'm at least as big a Bond fan as a Wick fan, and I need to protect myself on that. Now back to Gronk and what he said. My takeaway from this is simply this. I have tried to explain to you, and I do believe you're still wrong about this, that Brady made Belichick in New England. It was Tom Brady who made Belichick possible, let him get away with this for 20 long years in New England, being the dictator that he still is, the tyrant that he still can be, the coach that finally drove Rob Gronkowski out of New England, where he just said, I lost my joy for playing football last year and I needed a year off. And I think there's no way Gronk would have gone back to New England even with Tom Brady, though he said yesterday, well, we were talking about that possibility. I don't buy it. Bill Belichick got away with it for 20 years because Tom Brady was his buffer, his mediator in the locker room, and told everybody, suck it up, swallow it, bite your tongue, because he is the coach and we're going to win this way. And without Tom mediating, there would have been chaos. There would have been mutiny because there was mutiny in Cleveland under Bill Belichick. If you look hard at what happened his first 5 years as a head coach, Shannon, he finally lost the locker room. He alienated that team, and he certainly alienated the Cleveland media. And look at the records in Cleveland. 6-10, 7-9, 7-9, and they had one breakthrough year at 11-5, and they did win a playoff game against Drew Bledsoe and the Patriots before they got shellacked by Neil O'Donnell and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And then the last year, they went 5-11 again, and he got fired. Then he went 5-11 in his first year in New England and was 0-2 when Tom Brady happened. So pre-Brady, Bill Belichick was 41-57. Think about that, 41-57, and on the verge of being fired a second time in New England, and Brady happened. And Brady had been taught by his father, honor the coach. It's like honor your father and your mother. Well, you also honor your head coach. And Brady was the most coachable quarterback in the history of pro football. And he always did what Bill said to do. Yet on the other side of the coin was Brady was also the clutchest quarterback in the history of pro football. And every time they needed to pull out a big game, Brady pulled it out. 6 rings with 6 fourth-quarter game-winning drives. And should have been a 7th against Eli in the first Eli Super Bowl. And Belichick's defense couldn't stop Eli from going 75 yards in the last 2 minutes for the game-winning touchdown to cancel out Brady's. And then Brady throws for a playoff record 505 in another Super Bowl. Should have been another ring, puts up 33. And Belichick gives up 41 to Nick Foles, the backup quarterback. So again and again, Brady saved Belichick. Brady made Belichick. Brady was the reason there are the Patriots as we knew and used to love them. And I'm here to tell you now Bill Belichick is in trouble. He lost his buffer. He lost his clutch quarterback. He's by himself. And they are going to be quicker to mutiny in that locker room because today's players won't accept a dictatorship from the head coach. I'm sorry, he's in for a rough ride trying to rebuild and reinvent that locker room just in his image without the quarterback clutch buffer.
Skip, I'm not arguing. I'm not arguing with you. I'm not here to dispute anything. And we might go back and forth about Brady made Belichick, Belichick made Brady. Okay, all that, we'll debate that another day. But I think what Gronk is saying is that, Skip, because of his style, because of the constant grind, it's not fun. And people sometimes, Skip, look, I put it like this here. At some point in time, Skip, I've seen people do this, have jobs, and I'm not talking about professional sports, but I've seen people have jobs where they make a ton of money and they just hate going there because it becomes so unbearable, and then they go do something else. Gronk retired. Yeah, we can say Gronk was beat up, and maybe he was, but hell, he was beat up in previous off seasons also, but he came back. And he said, I would rather walk away than continue to play like this because, like he said, I'm not having fun. Well, if you're entertaining someone, shouldn't you have fun doing it? If I'm going to do something, Skip, if I'm doing something and I get enjoyment out of doing it, even though Gronk was making $8, $9, $10 million, he's like, nah, I'm good. I go do something else. And then he's like, oh, I can get up out of there and go somewhere else and play football and still play with Tom? Okay, you're right, Skip. Tom Brady made it easy because here's the thing. If the best player is doing it, it's kind of like OTA, Skip. If the best player is showing up, how the hell can you not? I mean, this man got 3, 4, 5 Super Bowl rings, and you're like, nah, I don't think I'm going to go. Huh? Tom Brady, Skip, and this is why Coach Belichick really never paid anybody, because they never had to play Tom. You don't have to pay Tom, Skip. How can I go in there? Here's the guy that's a three-time Super Bowl MVP before he won this last string. 3-time Super Bowl MVP, 2 regular season MVPs. How can I go in there and ask for more money, get top dollar, when they're paying this man 7th or 8th ranked quarterback money? How? And that's what Bill. But see, it's a blessing and a curse, Skip. By Tom doing what he did, it allowed Bill to do what he did, which is a lot of times, Skip, make it not fun, not give people what they deserve. And then finally, Tom was like, you know what? After 20 years, you didn't give me the extension. I did forget what you said about this not being open heart surgery. You minimized my play for the longest time. And you know what? Now I got an opportunity to go somewhere else. Even if you do want me back, kiss my butt. I'm gone.
Right. No, I agree with you. But just to be fair, Shannon, as much of a scoundrel as I think Belichick always has been, and as much as I believe
Yes.
Brady was 75% of the credit to 25 for Bill, I do think that Gronk was trying to say that it made me right. It taught him a lot about how to be a pro, how to do it the exact right way. It's not the easy way. It's not a fun way, but he got right mentally and physically under Belichick. And he said, I'm going to take a lot of what I learned in that authoritarian system, that dictatorship. I'm going to take it with me to Tampa. And I'm sure he's going to teach a lot of the young bucks the same concepts that that got driven into his mind by the dictator Belichick. I think Tom is the same way. So I'm not condemning it. I'm just saying it's hard to get away with it today. And I know Dan Reeves very well, and I appreciate everything you said about him because he was old school. Dan's heart is big and good, though. I don't think he's a bad man. I think he's a good,
great man.
very good man.
No, he's a great man.
Just a great man.
Yes.
Yeah, and I don't know if Belichick has a big, good heart. I'm not sure about that one. But the point is that both Tom and Gronk respect what they learn from him, and they will take it with them and try to teach it and instill it in the Buccaneers. So not to condemn him, I'm just saying Tom was it for him. Without Tom, there's no Bill.
Well, see, the thing is, Skip, is that he was winning and he's winning championships. Now, this style is not going to work if you don't keep winning and winning championships. Guys like, why am I listening to you? You ain't winning anything. And then guys like, oh, maybe it was Tom doing all this work and you doing all this talking. So he's going to have to continue to win, and he's going to have to win championships, Skip.